Libas kanan,
Terima
libas
kasih
kiri.
Bang Aga.
Oke, ya, oh iya, oh iya. Hello friends, I'm Ma'ruf. Just out here in New Zealand, figuring things out one adventure at a time. So where are we headed today? Come along. Yo, hello everyone. So today we are driving from Auckland to New Plymouth and rest for one night here before we continue to Egmont National Park. Our destination is Phantom's Peak of Taranaki Mountain and the famous Saimi Hut. Guys, sebelum kita naik mungkin kan kita harus berterima kasih pada mobil ini. Mobil inilah yang mengantarkan kita dari Auckland ke Egmont National Park ini. Terus oh, aduh ini mungkin nama mobilnya ya. Terima kasih mobil apa bacanya? How to pronounce this? Oh. Ya, selamat pagi teman-teman. Sekarang pukul 10. Jadi kita sudah ada di visitor centernya Taranaki, jalur Dawson Falls. Ya, jadi jalanan akan kita jalan ini setengah jam lagi. Kalian bisa lihat di background itu adalah puncak dari Taranaki sekitar 2.500 mdpl. Tapi tujuan kita itu di Saimi Hut sekitar 1.700 mdpl. Puncakan pertama yang Oke. At the visitor center, we confirm and cross-check the information we had researched online. Details like travel time, terrain condition, and whether we could reach the summit of Mount Taranaki via the Dawson Falls Trail. And after that, we took some time to repack our gear, making sure we were well prepared for the hike. And of course, before setting off, we took a moment to pray for a safe and smooth journey. Mas Maruf melaku-melaku. Hei. After an hour of trekking through the enchanting Goblin Forest, where towering Totara and Kamahi trees intertwine to create a mystical canopy, we arrive at Hooker Shelter. We pause for a short break, reapplying sunscreen in preparation for the next leg of the journey, which would lead us across an open and exposed landscape. In this kind of open terrain, the midday sun is anything but forgiving, and the steadily rising path lined with thousands of wooden steps is a true test for weariness. But yet, the reward is undeniable. The sweeping view below unfolds like a masterpiece. The deep blue sky, streaked with wisps of cloud, blends seamlessly with the lush green patchwork of New Zealand farmland. I cannot help but feel an overwhelming sense of gratitude. simply for the chance to stand here and take it all in with my own eyes. As the afternoon drags on, the sun blazes relentlessly, and the thin, dry air at high altitude saps every ounce of energy. But the real challenge lies ahead, the infamous creep path, unstable and unforgiving, waiting to test every step. With every step forward, a familiar question lingers. Why are we here? Shouldn't admiring nature be less of a struggle? But yet, in the midst of exhaustion, there is something that keeps us going. Going home, that's the answer. Home, it's not just a place, but a feeling. Every wanderer has a home to return to. For some, it's the ocean. For others, the mountains, or maybe a soul. But for me, this journey is not just about reaching the summit. It's about coming home. Because, just like a house bringing warmth and comfort, the mountains give me peace. Whether in Indonesia or here in New Zealand, the mountains are always there, waiting, welcoming, embracing me like an old friend. Kata-kata hari ini.
So today I just got a life-threatening experience. It's just a cramp in my thigh, but it happens in this kind of slope. You can see it's very steep, and there's barely a flat place to spread my legs. To lay my legs and relax it. And no one helped me. My friend, they all have their own struggle. So you need to come up with your own effort. You have to independently try to save yourself. So yeah, it's only you who can save you, right?
With our energy nearly depleted, we finally managed to make it through the Flakey's Creek Trail. At long last, we spotted a small building in the distance, our destination, one of the most renowned huts in this country, the Saimi Hut. Suddenly, we felt an inexplicable surge of energy and relief. After such an exhausting and nerve-wracking journey under the relentless and scorching sun, we were immensely grateful to have reached the Saimi Hut without any major injuries. Aside from Wafir, who suffered a leg cramp, likely from the strain of driving solo all the way from Auckland to Egmont National Park. We quickly set up our tent, as there were only 3 sleeping spots left inside the hut. Chia, Angel, and Fidel would sleep inside, while Wafir and I chose to pitch our tent not far from the hut. To celebrate this small victory, we sat in front of our tent, sharing a single cup of coffee between the 5 of us, filling our empty stomachs with Indomie, the bread of Indonesia, which is famous all over the world. We talk about everything waiting on our minds: university struggles, life, and dreams for the future. These are the moments we long for when caught in the relentless pace of city life, where people seem lost in their own thoughts. This warmth, this togetherness, this is what we always miss. Before we knew it, 3 hours had passed. We decided to gather and count down to the sunset. That evening, the sunset was nothing short of dramatic. The golden hue stretching across the western horizon of New Zealand North Island. It was grand, romantic. For a moment, I found myself lost in silence, tears welling up as I reflected on life's regrets, wishing things had been done differently. Dreams and ambition felt so distant, so difficult to reach. And then I surrendered to prayer, a long prayer, carried away with the setting sun. Prayers exist everywhere. They fill the universe. They live in the depths of the forest, in the eruption of a volcano, in the raging storms of the sea, as Iksan Scooter once said. Night fell, and as we stepped out of our tent, we were left in awe. The sky was so clear, as if inviting us to witness the shimmering city lights and the countless stars above. MashaAllah, it was breathtaking, so close, as if we could reach out and touch them. Glory be to Allah, who created such a magnificent world, even here, at the farthest edge of the southern hemisphere. The next morning, exhausted from the previous day's journey, we woke up a little later than planned. The sun was already climbing higher in the sky. That morning, we spent time chatting with other hikers at the hut. Most of them were Kiwis, locals of New Zealand, or travelers from Europe. We were the only 5 Asians there, which seemed to surprise them a little. Over breakfast, we exchanged stories about the beauty of our homeland and the breathtaking landscapes of New Zealand. Afterward, we took some time to explore the area around Phantom's Peak before making our way down, eager to descend before the sun grew too harsh. The descent was no easy task. The scree trail was steep, some section reaching a 15% incline with loose, flaky footing that forced us to move carefully, step by step. But that didn't matter. What mattered was making it down safely. Alhamdulillah, we arrived at Dawson Falls Visitor Center in one piece, without any mishaps. We took our time refreshing up, changing clothes, washing our faces, and having lunch before finally setting off on our journey back to Auckland. This was truly an unforgettable adventure. Ma'ruf, Wafir, Fidel, Chia and Angel, Mount Taranaki, Phantom's Peak, New Zealand.
Tidak kerekam tuh.